How was team morale coming off last night?
Good. We won't do much as a team until this afternoon, but the meetings I've had with guys after the game, it was pretty good. I think, they're hungry, which is what you want, and we're going to talk about the importance of just finishing the right way. But I think they're motivated, they're hungry, they're excited to get back home, and so I expect us to be full of some juice today and get ready to play a tough Rutgers team.
Ben, what's the about Cam in the last 5?
A lot, I think, just that you can feel the transition from a freshman to a sophomore. And I think that's a lot what it is. I think, he's got enough games under his belt now where I think he does feel like he's not a freshman anymore. And with that, it's just confidence. I think he's in a rhythm for sure. But I just think it's that transition of going from a freshman to a sophomore. It's just, you're here, you have arrived, you belong. And I think he's ready to take that next step.
How do you handicap the freshman of the year in the conference?
I think it's going to be a tight race. I think it's going to be tight. I'm just glad we've got somebody I think is definitely going to be up for consideration. And I think, his ceiling's through the roof. And I think this is a good year that he's going to be able to build on. But it's just good to have somebody that's in the discussion.
Do you get a lot out of playing a team like that close on the road in terms of confidence, or is it at a point where it's win or go home? What does it feel like when you're in the battle, you're in the mix, lots of good things happen except for win?
Yeah, I think it's both. You definitely gain confidence. I mean, they're the number 1 or 2 team in the country for a reason. I think we played them next to Northwestern, probably the best in the league. I mean, Illinois, the score was tight, but they made a couple threes like really, really late. And then that crowd was juiced up. I mean, it's a hard place to play, and for our guys to go in there and play like they did and battle and compete, you have to take some positives from that. Obviously you want to win the game. So now it's about, all right, what next step do we need to take? I thought there was improvement from the Iowa game. I really did, and that was the most important thing. Is worrying about us, and that there was improvement from Iowa to Purdue. But if you can go in there against a team that's veteran, that's experienced, that's tough, that's talented, that has probably the best player, most dominant player in college basketball, and handle yourself with the poise and maturity that I thought we did, that's the standard, right? That's the level that we need to be at. And if you can bottle that up, hopefully this week should be a good week for us.
And Rutgers played well last night down the stretch to get a win. I mean,
yeah,
this is a team you're battling with, but it's an interesting team.
Yeah, no, they are. They got a big boost with the kid Williams that got eligible, so that's obviously helped them a lot. He brings a lot to the table. Big guards, got experience, tough, downhill, can score it. Good on offense, good on defense. I mean, you can just see he's brought like an energy to them.
Not afraid, is he?
No, he's not afraid. You could tell, not being able to play those first however many games probably created a hunger for him. And so he's ready to roll. He's fresh. And they're playing well. I think they got them and Purdue are probably the 2 hottest teams right now in the league in terms of, consecutive wins. So, they're always tough, always well coached. We got our job cut out for us.
I mean, do you even watch any film from 3 weeks ago? I mean, with Williams, they're a completely different team.
No, they are completely different. You watch a little bit, but predominantly you're going to watch when he's in there just because he does so much. And what they do now, especially offensively with him in there, is different. So, yeah, you're focusing now more on with games that he's involved. And, they're not going to change defensively much, but it's now more about just the offensive stuff. All right, what's got them to have, the ability to score like they're scoring it now. And, again, he's a big piece to that.
How do you explain the second half last night? I mean, I like some of the looks you guys got. It just, shots fell in the first half and not as many in the second, clearly.
Yeah, and I think that's, kind of tell it tape. Like, you can't always rely on your shooting. I think we're a good shooting team. There's going to be times when you have wide open looks that just don't fall, and especially on the road. Take confidence from that, but you can't sit there and rely and say, hey, we're going to have 2 great halves, we're going to shoot it through the roof, from 3. because the reality is it's tough. And obviously, Purdue cranked it up defensively, which was part of it. But to your point, I thought we had some really good looks. They just didn't fall. And so now it's getting confidence to find other ways to continue to stay in games. And again, I thought, 4 minutes to go, it's right there. Under the 4-minute mark, it was right there. Free throw here or there, now you're really there. But to get it to a 1 or 2 possession game with under 4 minutes, that's what we talk about all the time, trying to get to that point. And now it's about finding ways to end it and finishing games.
I mean, how about even just getting a whistle? Like Elijah, that pass clearly goes off the Purdue defender. Why can't that be reviewed?
I think it can, but it's got to be in the last, minute or two.
Would you like to see that change, though? Like,
I
sort
would.
of an NBA system where you get a challenge or something?
Yeah, no, I would love that, especially now. That kind of the way the ball bounces, but that was, you would like to maybe have that rule in place. But even with that said, I think to be in a position, it's encouraging to see. I think, again, you want to win every game, but, we're showing progress and showing steps. And now we still control our destiny. And that's what I'm going to tell these guys today, that, with 7 games left and 8 with the Big Ten tournament, I think, we still control and can still finish this thing in a crazy great position like we haven't in a long time. Got 4 home games to take advantage of. And got a couple teams that we've played already, which there's familiarity with that. That's a good thing. And, I expect us to finish on a high note.
And how do you look back on that tech? Was that something you wanted to see a foul call on Pharrell? And how do you look back on how that kind of changed things at that moment?
Yeah, I think, well, 2 things. I think I was a little bit smart enough to get it early in the half. As obviously as the game goes, it gets tighter to the end. You got to be a little smart with that. But I just think sticking up Pharrell a little bit, and some things that were on my mind for a little while. But again, calls are going to go both ways. They more times than not even themselves out, and it's always tough on the road. Like that's just part of it.
How is Pharrell? It looked like that was kind of an awkward fall he had.
Yeah, that one, and I think the play later in the game when he went up versus Edey, I think he just got hit in the midsection and just kind of got the wind knocked out of him. But that's a big dude, and so I think it rocked him a little bit. But he was good this morning, and again we'll be a little bit light today, so I expect him to be all right.
Dawson, his stroke is so good, and then they say he's only shooting 29% from 3 or whatever. And you only remember the ones he makes, I guess. But does he kind of have a green light there, or what does he got for 3-point shooting? And because when it's good, it's really good.
Yeah, no, I think he is a good shooter, and I think some of the percentages from beginning of the year are just like, okay, especially early. Can we get you something at the rim early? Where now all of a sudden, if you got it going, that 3 the rim looks a little bit bigger. Instead of the first shot being something that's a pick and pop or a stretch or something from 3. But he is a very capable shooter. And when he's got it going offensively, now all of a sudden he becomes a really good shooter just because you're confident, you're in a rhythm. And so I think for all of our guys, if we take rhythm 3s and good 3s, I like our chances with that. It's the quick ones or the ones with no pass or 1 pass or the time and score ones. But I think in the first half, those were timely 3s. They were good 3s. They were step-in 3s. They were aggressive 3s. When we do that and we're disciplined, I think we're a good shooting team.
Coach, you mentioned the team kind of needing to take the next step, being able to hang with a team like Purdue late and just not quite able to put it away. What does that next step look like for you, I think?
Yeah, just closing games. Again, it's just like Iowa. I know Dawson was down, but it's that next defensive step. Like how do you when you really got to get a stop or 2 in a row, right? When we had, I think, with 11 minutes to go, we had 70 points. So you have enough points to be in the game or to win the game. And so now it comes to, all right, can we get a couple consecutive stops, or can you stop the bleeding with a stop or a good offensive possession? That's the next step, right? And it's being able to do that. And some of that comes with experience. I mean, we have our starting backcourt never played in Mackey before, never played against a number 2 team in the country. And again, not to sound like a broken record, but sometimes you got to experience, you got to be in those moments to understand just how valuable and precious everything is, and to also understand, all right, the toughness that comes with how you have to play on the road defensively. And I think the experience will make us better, especially these last couple weeks and these last couple games. Again, I think they're, if not the best team, they're the second best team in the country. And so we've got to take a lot out of that game and that environment, not only home but on the road and in the Big Ten tournament. That gives us confidence to say, no, like when you play within our system and play really hard, like we're going to be in games. And now it's figuring out, okay, in this game, what do we need to do to win it? Right? Is it an offensive deal? Is it a defensive deal? But like, what needs to be done detail-wise to finish a game?
And elsewhere in the Big Ten, I know it was going on at the same time, but Caitlin Clark broke the all-time women's college basketball scoring record. What's your reaction on that and thoughts about what she's brought to women's college basketball?
Yeah, I think obviously phenomenal. I mean, those numbers, you look at them, it's like video game. And then the shot she made to break it. But I think, no, it definitely has. It's brought crazy awareness. I think more people, not even young women in college and professional, but obviously men, like high school, college, professional, are watching and paying attention. And I think it's a good thing, spreading the history of women's basketball. And now you're looking at seeing who the all-time leading scorers were. I knew a couple of them, but you're seeing it now. I mean, she plays in front of a packed house almost every game, so she's done a great job of just conducting herself the right way and promoting the women's game. And obviously she's an undeniable talent.
Ben, when you look at the logos over there, it's kind of Purdue and everybody else, but everybody else has a chance to make a run to the tournament. How does it feel in terms of the Big Ten? Purdue's in, and after that, it's like
no, it
you
is.
can make a case for just about anybody up there.
Yeah, no, it is, and it is exciting, but there's a small margin of error for everybody, and these last 2 weeks are going to be important for every team. I'm glad that we got 4 home games left to kind of hold court. It's obviously so hard on the road this year, especially. So we got to take advantage of it. I just think it's a great opportunity to continue to play good basketball. I know we've lost 2, but I still feel we've played good basketball. And hopefully these guys don't want it to end, and you got that motivation to finish this the right way. And now you got motivation in the Big Ten tournament, because anything can happen. And all of a sudden you go on another run like we did, and you win a couple in a row. Well, now it's really getting interesting, and that's got to be our mindset. It's like, be greedy, continue to take it game by game, day by day. But if you're able to stack a couple wins here late, it could get really interesting in a good way.
Here, questions for Braeden.
Ben, how are you a different player as a sophomore? Now, we watched you guys at Purdue last night, and obviously you got to go through a lot of things before you can be comfortable in the Big Ten, so to speak. How are you different?
I just say I'm a lot more confident this year. Last year I feel like I was kind of shying away from most things, and now obviously, as many people know, I take pride in my defense. I feel like this year especially, I take the challenge of guarding whoever they give me, and I kind of just that's just when I go in the game, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure he doesn't score. Last year was kind of like, oh, I hope he doesn't score, like this and third, and obviously I'm getting more confident with my shot over the last couple of games too. So I'm just trying to stay in the right mindset.
How much changed too with the break you had, and then coming out of the break and being in a good spot?
Yeah, I feel like before the break, I was just kind of everywhere else but here. So having that break, some time away to just clear my mind, it helped a lot, because I came back and just was, I guess, happier too. I just started to love the game again, and everything just kind of started falling in place. I felt like I was helping the team more and more every time I got back, so it was nice.
Do you meditate? Do you do anything before a game that gets you, get your brain relaxed kind of thing? Have you learned things like that?
I wouldn't say I necessarily do anything differently before a game. I think I just kind of learned to be more loose. I feel like before I was kind of stressing, oh, I'm starting on the best guy, oh, I can't let him do this, that, and third, But now it's just kind of like, it's another basketball player, It's not like he's anything special. Obviously he's a good player, but, I learned just go have fun, I play the sport because I like it. It's fun for me, so,
From a defensive perspective, what's key to take away from Williams or guard Rutgers?
I guess I haven't watched too much on him, because since he's just came back, it's just getting things. But I feel like everybody, I feel like we've been fairly solid in defense. Last 2 games it hasn't been the best, but we just kind of got to lock in, focus on details. limit second chance points because, big clips can crash glass, stuff like that. And we just got to play smart. We start going on runs, and we got to keep those going.
Talk about your perspective as a freshman. How have you seen Cam and his confidence level as a true freshman?
Oh no, it's great. Mine was definitely. I feel like our situations are also a little different too. Last year, we were put in a role where it was just like 4 freshmen out there running with their heads cut off. No leadership wasn't like crazy. This year, I feel like you have, me, Mike, Elijah help him. Then you got Dawson. Dawson stepped up in a leadership role. So you just have a lot more voices to help him. And I think it helps that we're all confident and we see what he can do, and we know from when he makes shots we can win games, and we want him to do that. So we just have that confidence that when he shoots, it's gonna go in.
Parker, how do you look at the last 2 games being close but not getting up at home?
Yeah, I think anytime you travel on the road in the Big Ten, it's tough, and you want to win games. But we talk about things kind of being that process and being process oriented, and not kind of looking at the product. And I thought, we did some really good things. And you play in a place like Purdue where it's tough to win a basketball game. But I think we did a lot of things really well. Obviously you don't want moral victories, that kind of stuff, but you want to hold on to that lead and keep the lead and win the game. But you do some things really well, and you want to kind of continue that and try to build on that. And now we're back home against a Rutgers team that's hot right now. So you want to continue doing the things you're doing well, but you got to finish out and win ball games. So yeah.
How crazy was that atmosphere last night?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best. And in my opinion, the best in the Big Ten, just with the way they're kind of choreographed and everything is, on point, and they got the dances and the chants and the crazy fans, and they're there a half hour before the game, and it's awesome. I think it's the kind of stuff that I wanted to, play at for a long time, ever since I could remember, and being able to do that was really special. And unfortunately, you don't win the game, but those are the kind of memories that you're gonna, remember for a long time.
What have you seen in how Cam is kind of taking it to another gear?
Yeah, Cam's a dude, man. But it's like, it's no surprise, because you see him work and you see him, put that time in every single day. And, it's funny because, you see him come off of a ball screen and one dribble pull up and hit it. And it's like, wow, he's tough. But it's like, I see him do that every day. It's like, it's no surprises making that shot because it's something that he reps and he drills. And obviously with his brother being in the league, they got trainers and that kind of stuff. But it's like, I think the sky's the limit for that kid. And I continue to tell him, on the bench and practice and that kind of stuff, let it come to you, because he's so good that you could go out there and force it and take some bad ones, but he doesn't. He lets the game come to him, and he takes really good shots. And I think he's taken a step defensively too, where I think he knows he has to, especially with some of the guys he has to guard. Some of the threes in this league are really good players, so he knows he has to guard good players. And I think he's kind of taken that challenge on, and he wants that kind of role. He wants to be a guy where he's stepping up and be a good defender for us.
He's obviously got those great elbow mechanics too.
Yeah.
Now, in a big situation like that, what's more important, your mechanics or your brain?
I think it's the brain, and obviously you rep the mechanics and it becomes kind of second nature. But if you're coming off a ball screen and you're going to that shot and you don't have the mentality that you're going to make it when you're on the road at Purdue and everybody wants you to miss it, you're not going to make that shot unless your mind's in it. And Cam does such a good job of with his confidence, and he knows he's repped it and he's put so much work in that every time he steps into it, and now I know it's like, oh, that thing's good, like it's cash, because Cam's he's got that mindset and that confidence. So it's just fun and he's so young too. It's he's 18 years old. It's so young, and it's so fun to see that kind of confidence kind of roll out, and then it hopefully it kind of trickles down, and other guys start making shots, and that confidence kind of becomes a domino effect on our team.